everybody? This is Killer K-Rail.
Jill Molshon, my ears are blown out. Thank you, Kevin.
She wasn't expecting that big explosion from Killer K-Rail. But I've got a pressing question to ask before we get into our subject matter today, which is we're going to be talking about what's the real deal with the high protein and low protein foods. We're going to delineate all the facts from the fiction. Before I get there, notice that the words on my shirt are written backwards because they took away the tool on the phone that allows it to flip back around. Don't ask me why they did
backwards
it.
Too.
She's backwards too.
It's okay.
And what you're looking at, we're actually flip-flop too. Jill!
Kevin.
When you were growing up as a little kid,
yeah.
Do you remember your parents saying, never play ball in the house?
Oh, yeah. I'm a mom. I say it all the time. Yeah.
Did you play ball in the house?
I did play ball in the house.
Do your kids play ball in the house?
They do play ball in the house. They played a burrito game last night where they were throwing around a long, puffy burrito.
Do you remember World Burrito down in Kimball Junction?
Yeah, gosh, that was
I used to
really
love
good.
that. I'd do one of those burritos. I'd be stuffed for like 2 days in a row.
Yeah, those things were really good.
Anyway, I played ball in the house. Did you ever break anything?
Yes, last night, as a matter of fact, I believe the 7-year-old broke a wine glass.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I've got one wine glass.
Yeah.
One. And I've used it 0 times since I've got it.
I drink alone.
When I pull that out, I definitely drink alone. Anyway, I'm sure you've all played ball in the house. I've broken everything from lamps to mirrors to artifacts to family heirlooms.
Oh, absolutely.
Windows.
Dishes,
I've even knocked the TV
glasses,
over once with my brother.
TV. Yeah. Because the ball usually ends up being the precursor to a wrestling match.
That's true.
Yeah, and then the tables get knocked over, somebody gets hurt. I mean, it's just a disaster. Okay, we're here.
Okay, we're back on track.
Spell a few myths about one of the biggest buzzwords in the industry of nutrition right now, and it's protein. Everyone's like, you gotta get more protein. If you want to get full, you gotta eat more protein. Right? Okay, I love protein. I do.
Who
I
doesn't
love
love
protein.
Who doesn't love it?
Exactly. But hey,
it's so good.
Okay, I studied nutrition at the college level. I think Kevin studied nutrition at the college level. But then to be the people that we are, we need to keep up our what you call CEUs. We need to keep getting more certifications and taking more classes, and it's wonderful, right? It keeps the brain moving. But there's so much junk out there that they're teaching us in the nutrition industry that we're supposed to then go regurgitate to other people, which I think in all of life, you have to look outside of the box. You have to challenge things. You even have to challenge what some people say are facts. And what we're going to challenge today is whether or not some foods are high in protein.
Yes.
Okay?
Because I'm seeing a lot of these experts out there, dietitians, nutritionists, scientists, doctors, on videos and in written format talking about this is high in protein, and that's a good source of protein, and that's a good source of that. They're missing so many things, it's not even funny. And the only way you find this stuff out is if you go deep into the research, into the weeds like Jill and I have done for many, many years. So we're going to do this like shotgun, machine gun style right now. And I'm going to start holding foods up. And I'm going to say to Jill, what is this food high in?
Okay, this is going to be fun.
This is going to be fun. Ready? We'll start with this one right here.
What are those?
Can you hear that?
Pumpkin seeds?
Get up close and listen. Can you tell what they are? These are pepitas.
Those are pepitas, raw pepitas.
Raw pumpkin seeds.
Oh, they are so good.
Are these high in protein, fat, or carbohydrates?
Fat.
Liar! Liar! That's not what they said on the video the other day. One of the experts said, if you want to get protein, eat these because they're high in protein. Guess what? 4 grams of protein per serving, 3 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, 15 grams of fat.
Okay.
You know what that means?
So you know what that means? Here, let's talk about
It means
that.
I need to take a breath.
I like 30 grams of protein for breakfast. That's what works for me. The first meal of my day, 30 grams of protein. I usually get it through a shake or something, right? Whether it's a veggie burger, a high protein veggie burger, something, eggs, whatever. If I was to get my 30 grams of protein from this,
that's how much you'd be eating or more.
I would have to multiply that by 10, right? 3 grams of protein?
Yeah.
Did you say?
4 grams
of protein. So roughly, I would be getting about 150 grams of fat.
And if you translate that into calories,
150 grams of fat just to get 30 grams of protein. This is not a high source of protein.
No, it's not.
Absolutely not.
Now, don't get us wrong. Seeds, especially pumpkin seeds, are very nutritious and very delicious and good for you. High in zinc, high in fiber, high in healthy fats. That is what this is high in. And it's got a moderate amount of protein. Don't base a meal off of this based on this protein content because it's a lie. It's getting shoved aside. Okay,
but we'll
next.
still eat it, right?
We'll still eat it.
Okay.
Some of my favorites, garbanzo beans.
Garbanzo beans. I am a type O blood type, so I shouldn't be eating a whole lot of beans because I do like my friends and I like to hang out with people. And I am instantly bloated after I eat beans.
Ooh, wow.
It's just
you
the way
have a
it works.
sensitivity to legumes,
Okay,
maybe.
I do.
Okay, Jill.
Kev,
Protein, carb, or fat?
I'm going to call that, honestly, I'm going to call it a carb.
Very good.
Yeah.
This
We didn't practice any of this.
is
either.
mistakenly considered a high-protein food all the time. Is it high-protein food? No. Does it have a good amount of protein for what it is?
Actually
a legume
does
or bean?
have
Yeah.
a good amount of protein, but if you wanted to even get 14 grams of protein out of this, you'd have to go 240 calories. And not that 240 calories is bad, but just to think of how you can actually get that much protein out of less calories when it comes to different foods, right?
Very good point.
That's
right
all
there.
it is. Should these be thrown to the wayside?
Absolutely
Absolutely
not.
They're amazing. Like it would, the things that we're talking about would be great toppers for salads, right? You've got beans and you've got seeds, great toppers for salads, right? But this is a source of carbohydrate. That's why the keto diet that gets in the paleo
So much popularity
diet,
in
right?
talk, yeah.
So much popularity there because they're trying to cut carbs. Do they include beans in that diet? No, absolutely not, because this is more of a carbohydrate than it is a protein.
I like to use the word complement or complementary. This is a good complement to a meal that has an existing high-protein food in it. There is 20 grams of carbs and 7 grams of protein in a serving of
20 grams
garbanzo
of
beans.
carbs.
So just look at it this way. When you are trying to figure out, is a food a protein, a carb, or fat, what is the most dominant macronutrient in said food? So for example, let's roll right into this one.
Oh boy.
One of Jill's favorites. When I first met Jill, I walk into her apartment over here in Park Meadows, right around the corner. She's literally sitting on a chair, much like this one, with a countertop like this, with a spoon in one hand and peanut butter in the other. And she went like this for like 30 minutes in a row until the thing was empty. And I just went like that.
Whole jars of peanut butter. I think
She
my
would
thyroid
go
was
through-
out
she
of
would
whack.
plow
I had
through.
too much thyroid in my body at that point, and I was trying to get more goitrogens in my system to combat.
you must
I
have
think
really-
that's why, because I literally would eat just jars of peanut butter every single day.
That was astonishing. I
Yeah.
was impressed actually that you ate that much peanut butter and still like were able to move.
I'm not even upset.
The bottom line-
Actually, I'm impressed.
Bottom line is what I'm getting at is so many times we hear people say, those experts say, oh, peanut butter, such a good source of protein.
Oh,
They
if
get
you
like their
don't
face
eat
all
meat.
scrunched up too.
If you
There's a
don't
great
eat
source
meat,
of protein.
have some peanut butter. It's
have
a
some peanut-
great source of protein.
Yeah, great. They always
Wrong.
say great. I'm like, great? How's that a great source of protein?
No, it's not a great source of protein. This one has, okay, but this company doesn't do 2 tablespoons. It's their little marketing trick.
Yes,
So
they do
like,
one.
oh, it's only 81 calories. How could this peanut butter be half the calories of all the other peanut butters out there? Oh yeah, because the serving size is only a tablespoon.
Oh, of course.
Right, okay. So it really is 2 tablespoons is usually a serving of peanut butter, right? So this has 6 grams of protein. You like that? Can you tell how old I am? I'm holding it out right here. 6 grams of protein and 14 grams of fat. Okay.
Okay.
So to get my,
So let's do the math.
I want to get
I
my
want-
30
I
grams
want
of protein
20.
for breakfast.
I want 20 grams of protein. How much fat am I going to be getting if I get 20 grams of protein from that alone?
At 6, let's round it down to 5. We
Okay,
have to
we'll round it to
multiply
5.
that by 4. 14 times 4 is
64. I was a whiz in math and flashcards. I was the flashcard champion in my school. No, people used to like get nervous when they see me coming too.
I love that. I love
I'd be like,
that.
they'd be like, and I'd be like, 81, 56, 42. Like as soon as Mr. Ross's hand would go right there, and as soon as it snapped, boom, off like a jet, just like that, like a jet.
A shout out to you, Mr. Ross. I hope you're still
Mr.
alive.
Ross, he
I know
is.
that my second
He
grade
ruled.
teacher's still alive because I see her name right down there. Hi, Mrs. Cakeley. Love you as much as
Hi,
I
Mrs.
did back
Cakeley.
then. Okay,
So anyway, long story short,
peanut butter, good source of protein.
64 grams of fat you would have to eat to get 20 grams of protein. That does not balance out. That doesn't match up to me.
No.
It's falsely, misleadingly given information out there that I don't believe is absolutely accurate and true. If you want a good source of fats, great.
Yeah,
2 tablespoons of
great
this.
source of fat.
And you get the bonus 6 grams of protein. Think of it that way.
Yeah.
You get a bonus there.
Yeah.
But that is not a high protein food, in my opinion.
Okay, what do we have? Oh, we have some good kind
Should we
of
go
fun
to a
ones.
whole grain?
Let's go to a whole grain. Yes.
Okay, Jill. Einkorn wheat, ancient wheat, which is said to be able to be digested by some people who have gluten problems.
I'm
I
not
might
willing
add.
to try it.
You're not willing to try it. Okay.
I'm not willing to try that.
Tell me about these whole grains. They're whole grains. See them? I don't know if you can see them. I don't know if you all can see in there. Barely. You can barely see. Well, maybe sort of. These are whole grains, whole kernel. The husk is there. All the stuff you want is here.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get more protein in my diet.
Okay.
Is this a good source of protein?
No, it's a great source of fiber and it is a great source of carbohydrates.
Ooh, yes, complex carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they complex carbohydrates? What does that mean?
Complex carbohydrates mean that it has fiber, it has the whole grain. Complex carbohydrates has the whole grain.
And to put it into even simpler form, a complex carbohydrate gets digested slowly. And a simple carbohydrate, like Kool-Aid,
White bread.
which we drank probably 75 gallons apiece
Yep.
every single week when we were growing up, that is a simple carbohydrate, and you don't want to have simple carbohydrates in your diet, especially as an adult. You want complex carbs. So if I said to Jill, hey, I'm going plant-based for the next week, can you suggest some good sources of protein to me? She's not going to take this bag and shove it in my face and say, eat this.
No.
She's going to say, oh, this is einkorn wheat. It's an ancient organic grain, and it's really good source of complex carbs because it has 35 grams of carbs in it and 7 grams of protein. It's got 5 times more carbs than protein. So tell me, how can someone say this is high in protein?
And it goes back to what is your dominant macronutrient? Like I love that
Correctamundo.
Kevin said that before.
Correctamundo. That's
because
how you do
I mean,
it.
that is the most simplified way of looking at that. When I'm looking at this, okay, it's moderate in calories, 160 calories, and it's 1 gram of fat, right? Most carbohydrates tend to be very low in fat the way they are prepared. But then you've got a crap ton of carbs and a little bit of protein.
Oh, very nice way to G it there.
You like
She went
that?
G. She didn't even go PG.
I did.
You probably could have gotten away with the actual word for PG because I've seen PG movies that the F word was bombed in them too.
I have a new one around the kids.
But we always keep it clean.
I call it frickin' frack.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I still feel like I get the F out there, but it's a frickin' frack. And they know I mean business. I try not to use it very often either because, did she say frickin' frack? She must really mean business. Okay.
Uh-oh, curse jar.
We're
getting
off
off topic.
on this part of the road right
Squirrels.
now. Okay.
Squirrels in our heads. Okay,
Okay.
anyway. Something like a whole grains, einkorn wheat, whole wheat, wheat berries are really good. What's that one you like? Kamut?
Kamut?
Kamut? Is that
I
what you
call
call
it kamut.
I call it kamut.
Kamut?
Wheat berries, kamut. I'm
Even
drawing a
brown
blank.
rice. Brown rice tends to have is
I
almost
like wild grain and I
Yep.
like organic, the colored rice. It's all different
Yeah.
colors and stuff like that because you always get they're higher in antioxidants. All that stuff are whole grains and they are good sources of complex carbs with a minor amount of protein in them.
See,
It's a
this
good
is-
handcuff. It's a good
This
compliment.
is interesting.
Like I said before.
Looking at this is very, very interesting because
One of my
they
favorites.
call it a 100% whole grain. What do you think about that, Kev?
I think it's a lie. Quinoa are seeds, first of all.
Quinoa are seeds,
They're
exactly.
seeds.
So
they get plucked off of plants.
right, I just think that that's such a misnomer, and it's somewhat deceptive for people who are trying to get the truth when it comes to food, the simple truth at that. It is
good one.
not. It's not a whole grain. Quinoa is a seed. It even sounds like a seed.
It does.
It cooks like a grain,
And it looks
but
like-
it's a seed.
Looks like poppy seeds that are just a different color.
Exactly.
And now here's the interesting part about this particular seed, whole grain, whatever you want to call it, quinoa. Quinoa has a makeup very similar to something like einkorn or any other whole grains out there. That's probably why they call it whole grains, because the makeup of it is very similar. The protein, carbs, and fat content, super similar. There's like 4 grams of protein, maybe 3 grams of fiber per serving, somewhere around that ballpark.
3 grams of fiber. Just don't know what it's saying. It has 10 grams of sugar, which is just an interesting.
What?
Isn't that bizarre?
Get out.
I know. It says includes 0 added sugars, but it has 10 grams of sugar. I'm not really sure.
That's gotta be a
I know.
misprint.
This is like the weirdest.
That's a misprint.
We're gonna have to call. Let's
I'm going to
them
call the
after this.
company on that. There's
Yeah.
no way there's sugar in there.
That is the weirdest
10
thing
grams of
I've ever
sugar?
seen. But I mean, it's high in iron. So what
But-
this has going for it that a lot of other whole grains, okay, it's not a whole grain. It has all of the essential amino acids. So this is,
Precursor to muscle gain.
yes, this is.
Protein is built on, so there's 2 building blocks. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein. Protein is the building blocks of muscle. So this is precursor number 1. So,
Right,
if you
so
are
like
going to do a
you've
plant-based
heard
diet,
rice and beans.
exactly.
It's a complete protein. Rice and beans, right?
So they tell you.
Quinoa, complete protein.
By itself.
Okay, by itself.
By itself.
Just by itself.
Bomb.
So why it's really, really good to sprinkle on salads and, right? So just in it, so good for you. And it's so delicious.
It is.
It really is. And it's so easy to cook.
And the
too.
red one is a little higher in antioxidants and iron, I do believe,
Yes.
and that's why I get the red one. And all this stuff is coming right from my cupboards. It's not like we don't condone any of these things. We just want to
No.
set the record straight, and we want you to be an informed consumer so you know exactly what you're getting and how to incorporate it in your diet and for what reason.
Okay. Same thing.
We gotta
Pistachios, they're good.
Pistachios.
Oh, they're good.
I have to put it up because I like seeing the words backwards, and hopefully, Mark Zuckerberg, if you're watching, please put the thing back so we can flip it back again. I'm begging for that. Secondly, I see commercials for pistachios that say just as much protein as an egg white. I'm like, okay.
Great.
An egg white has 4 grams of protein. This has 4 grams of protein per serving. Egg white has about a half a gram of fat, if that, because you took away the yolk.
Mm-hmm.
And this has a whopping 14 grams of fat. So again, tell me, why is this marketed as a high source of protein when the fat content is twice as high as protein?
I'll tell you why. Because protein is a buzzword.
That's why.
People want to know how to get more protein. And I think people think protein and they think, oh, it's so hard, it's expensive, it's not shelf stable, right? There are so many great shelf stable sources of protein out there that if you were to make something and bring it to work, you wouldn't have to worry about refrigerating like you would chicken. You know, and some people are trying to go more plant-based. Totally get it, okay?
And we totally
we
highly encourage that, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Even if
encourage
it's
it.
just a couple days a week to go
Yes.
plant-based.
At least
it's great for the environment. It's great for your body. It's great for your gut. It's great for your wallet. There's a lot of different reasons that you would want to go plant-based. But if you do want to go plant-based, here's some good ideas.
Now let's
right?
reverse the quiz. Why don't you ask me a question about said pasta?
Okay, Kevin. If you saw a green package of pasta, what would you immediatly think it has in it?
I would think that if you cook it, it probably looks like baby diarrhea.
It
That'd be the
probably
first
does.
thing
You
that
can't
came to mind.
boil it too hard. You can't. It has to be a very low rolling boil for any of these bean-based pastas.
I would think it probably came from a plant source like spinach or something along those lines.
Okay.
If I looked a little deeper and I saw the word mung bean on the front, which I believe that one is that mung bean?
Edamame.
Oh, it's edamame.
Mm-hmm. So this is a soy-based product. A lot of people have problem with soy. They don't think that they should eat it very often. I personally have a thyroid disorder, and I eat my soy with some seaweed, and I do it once a week. Okay?
And I just had a
I try not to
conversation
do
with my client about soy this morning, and I think all of the negative hype about it is 100% overrated and not true at all. And like anything else, which I had the conversation with him about, anything can be bad for you if you have too much of it.
Oh,
Eating
agreed.
healthy can be bad for you if you have too much of it.
Agreed.
And exercise can definitely be bad for you. Believe me, I've been down that road if you have too much of it. So, edamame by itself, here's another one of those catch-22s, sort of. Edamame is also a complete protein by itself. So that's one of those legumes, like beans, that's a complete protein. And that does tend to be higher in protein than all the rest of the beans.
I'm obsessed with this label.
This is a very impressive pasta here. Now, if you are a pasta fanatic, we've done videos on pasta in the past. I think we did whole reviews on them. But we're going to reiterate kind of what we said back then. So go ahead, Jill. Take the floor.
So there are 2 servings in this package right here, okay? Get just wild guess, Kevin. You probably even know. How many grams of protein would you guess is in 1 cup, 1 serving of this pasta? And there's 2 servings in 1 bag. What do you
I
guess?
would say 40 grams.
41 grams. He was so close to spot on. Now, here's the thing, okay? Yes, you're going to be ingesting 350 calories. Totally fine for 41 grams of protein, right? That is just a small drop in the bucket to be getting 41 grams of protein, right? But what you're also getting here is 20% of your calcium for the day, 60% of your iron for the day, and 45% of your potassium for the day at 350 calories and 8 grams of fat. Now, here's your whopper, right? A pasta like this has 19 grams of dietary fiber in it. Amazing. If somebody could start weaving in a pasta like this to their diet once a week, just think of how nutrient dense. Because you're not just going to probably eat it just like this. You're probably going to put some olive oil on it too, which has another great source of antioxidants, maybe some garlic, which is great for your heart.
And you could add some other vegetables in there too, like broccoli and cauliflower and chopped up, what's it called? Baby spinach and stuff like that. I put in these too.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then a little bit of olive oil and stuff. And then your whole meal you build it up to like 450 calories. You put it in a bowl and you're probably going to be stuffed halfway through it.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a great source of protein, great source of fiber. So we get these at TJ Maxx or Home Goods.
Yeah.
And we are not
Those
paid
are
by
smoking
TJ
guns.
Maxx and Home Goods. But
Although
and
it should
Kevin
be.
has the black bean variety as well. The label is pretty much the same on this one. So what they've done is taken those beans and they've created them into a flour and then they've made them into a pasta, if you're wondering how this happens. But when cooking your pasta alternatives, Listen closely.
Get up close to the screen.
The lowest rolling boil ever. Otherwise, it turns into a bowl of mush, and then it's not very desirable to eat.
Or look at.
Or look at. You're right.
Yeah.
And then all of your nutrients are floating somewhere in the water, and who wants to drink pasta water?
Oh, gross.
That sounds pretty
Somebody
gross.
had to have done that down the road in the past. All right, I think we've talked long enough. I hope we got our point across. Remember, play ball in the house, but play safely. We never condone don't. We only use the word don't and not. Those are negative words. Play ball in the house.
Play ball in the house.
Just don't knock anything down and don't break anything. Play with your kids too, because they need attention, just like your animals do and your pets. Walk them. Walk the kids. Go outside. Have fun. Look people in the eye. Now, don't be fooled with your foods that you're eating, and don't be fooled by the stuff that you're being told or that you're hearing on TV or social media. Always look for the dominant macronutrient in the food, and that is what it is a good source of. So like milk or yogurt or cottage cheese, look at those 3 macronutrients: fat, protein, carbs. Whichever one has the most of in it is the source. Now, granted, dairy products are complete proteins because they have all the amino acids represented. But to me, dairy product like milk, for example, is higher in carbs than it is protein. So take that into consideration.
Like one of those
Yogurt.
Yeah,
all
like
yogurt is higher in carbs.
The Greek strained yogurt. I mean, some of them can have upwards of 20 grams of protein, 21 grams of protein in there.
Yeah, the
but
Greek are
there's quite a bit of sugar in there.
Yeah.
So you actually have to use it as a treat too. So it's your treat and it's your protein all at the same time. So
Yes.
listen, this
Think
is
smart.
definitely one of those things where, some people will probably just go, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. I don't even want to think about all this. That's why we do the thinking for you.
Yes, we just took all the guesswork out for you.
Yes.
So you might want to take notes when we start talking, because you know there's going to be some knowledge bombs being dropped.
If you want to rewind it, we are your food dorks.
We are.
Coming to you live from Kevin's living room.
Yes.
Okay, have a great day, guys.
This is-
love that you tune into us.
Yes, and this is Killer K-Rail, and
Jill Milshon.
don't forget to get the 30-day meltdown, and make sure to like and share our videos and post them. And also, make sure to pick up at least 1 piece of trash a day.
Yep.
Make sure you get at least 8 hugs for 8 seconds. Always live in the present moment and do at least 1 good deed every single day without any expectation of anything in return. And always go beyond your comfort zone at least once every single day. I know I just gave you even more information. Write all that stuff down or commit it to memory. Okay, Jill, gun show.
Gun show.
Till next time, everybody.
Bye.